studio doors are locked. This is a closed set. Will Murray.
Who the hell is paying $250 to play poker with you and me?
Jason Kaplan.
I've become a symbol of a pothead on the show.
Their world.
The relationship has deteriorated. No.
Their life.
What is going on around here?
And the Howard Stern back office.
You were screaming and fighting and being drunk? No.
This is Back Office Radio with Will and Jason. Call 888-STERN-101.
This is the greatest show on earth.
Hello and welcome to Back Office Radio. This is Jason Kaplan with Will Murray and Teddy Knitter.
This fast transition sucks, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, Will.
Oh, excuse me.
We're just working on Will's headphones. Never mind.
Welcome to Back Office Radio, the show where we talk about everything that's going on in the back office, behind the scenes, and give you the real opinions that we don't always have time to get out on the Howard Stern show or the wrap-up show. And this is really our time to shine. And Will and the audience and everybody, I am just filled with hate today. I got to tell you, I am just filled with
for
hate.
a good show, right, Jason?
I thought you were filled with Wendy's.
Wendy's eating fast food isn't fun when you have to scarf it down 3 seconds
Jason
before it
just ate an entire meal in about 90 seconds, and my guess is he's going to barf second segment.
No, I'm a professional. I'll wait till after the show to barf, Teddy. We have a big show coming up today. Of course, we have our Douche of the Weeks. We have all new Page 69. We have all three of us. We're at the block party at Harrah's in Atlantic City, so we have a lot of stories from there. If you hear me breathing heavy into the mic, it is because I did wolf down a burger, and
I thought it's because you're fat.
And I'm fat.
Oh.
And I ran down here. Remember when Star Jones did that? It was like, we played that audio on the Howard Stern show. He hears, we had the behind the scenes at the block party. We had our big staff steak dinner, speaking of eating. A lot of people, if you follow us at that Stern show, or you could go to howardstern.com. We have pictures up from the big steak dinner. I was eating spoonfuls of butter and fat by the end of the night. And by the way, it was fucking delicious.
Yeah. I dared you to do that, didn't I?
You said, I'll give you $20, and I said, I'll do it for free.
I didn't have $20.
I figured. We also have an overlooked Howard 100 news story of the week, your calls, and more. Give us a call, 888-STERN-101. That's 888-783-7610. Welcome to the show. Will, you all settled now?
Kind of. I'm getting there. I left my rundown somewhere.
It's so funny because...
I'm going Teddy Prep here.
Hold on a second. I can give you the rundown. Because I bring doubles of everything.
Good man.
That's why I'm an executive. Teddy's sitting there with nothing. Will is sitting there
notes on my phone,
frantically putting up his computer, and I have it all. Give us a call, 888-STERN-101. There's obviously a lot to talk about, and in fact, we're skipping State of the Office this week and jumping right to Douche of the Week because I think we're all infuriated with one staffer in here particularly.
We all feel very strongly on this issue.
And so we'll get to that in a second. But anything happened on the show this week that you particularly liked, Will?
Well, you know what the problem is, Jason? I don't even remember what happened this week. What happened?
Well, my favorite segment of the week was the staff spelling bee.
That was great.
That was awesome. I love when people look retarded, especially when they're the people we work with.
Who knew it was impossible to make Steve Brandano look smart? You know what I mean?
And I love that he won.
Looked like a genius.
And he won with 1 point.
Right.
I mean, that's what's awesome about that game. Was there any words that you couldn't spell? Because I was telling you, if I was standing there when the word amateur came up, and I know this because I searched for amateur porn, I would have been there for hours trying to fucking spell that word.
Amateur? I would have got M-A-M-T-E-U-R.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'm right.
M-A-M?
Yeah.
You just spelled mamature.
A. Excuse me.
All right.
I'm not that fucking retarded.
Right.
A-M-A-T-E-U-R.
I am a huge fan of Jason Bateman. That was a big deal for me.
Yeah, that was cool.
This week. Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
He was a great guest. It would have been cool if he opened up a little bit more, but I get it. I mean, but he was cool and he was a nice guy. And actually, Tommy Mottola was a cool interview. I love that.
Could have been a great interview. Could have been a Hall of Fame interview.
Well, we'll get into that in a second. But I do like, guys like Tommy Mottola and even Paul Anka when they're on, they're from a different era. You know what I mean? And there's not those guys left. And it's just cool hearing the stories and you don't meet a guy like Tommy Mottola and have a casual conversation like Howard did often in your life.
They're like second generation Rat Packers.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. It's what we all aspire to be. We just rushed here, actually not rushed here, but right before this, we had a writing meeting. We have writing meetings and we all get together and, Will and I just jotted down some notes for the writing meeting here. So, if you want to so we're sitting in a writing meeting and I gotta tell you, I want to punch him in the fucking face. Sal Governale starts smoking a stupid e-cigarette.
Every meeting, he brings a cigarette and he blows whatever poisonous vapors come out of that thing into your face.
I want a ban. Gary, if you're listening, can you please ban him at the next meeting from doing that? It's disgusting. I think he does it just for attention. Maybe he's stressed out. I don't know. But I'd almost rather he smoke a real cigarette in there than smoke whatever the fuck that.
Is he on the thing the whole meeting? Because you're only supposed to puff that once or twice, and that's supposed to let you go.
He's on that thing all the time.
Yeah.
I think he has a few years to live at this point. He keeps at it.
One can only hope. We all take turns pitching ideas, and for some reason, Gary totally hijacked my pitch session today. And I was standing up there like a sucker for like an hour. I started pitching, and then he jumps in, and
I don't even remember that. What were you pitching?
I don't even remember. It's probably something horrible.
Maybe that's why he jumped in.
One of my favorite things that Gary did during the meeting was that, like being in third grade, he had to separate Richard and Sal.
Yeah.
He didn't want them sitting next to each other, and halfway through the meeting, he moved Sal away.
He moved Sal away, and Sal then immediately starts talking to Richie Wilson over other people's pitches.
Well, yeah, no, Sal loves to talk.
Yeah, anyone who will listen.
Sal loves to talk, and then poor guy. I'm sorry, Gary. I just sat right across from you at the meeting. I know all my notes are about you, but during the course of our 3-hour meeting, so it is a long meeting, but Gary ate 2 bags of peanuts and 1 Hershey bar.
He was throwing it down.
Just reporting.
Well, it's right around lunchtime. You got to give him that. I mean,
starts at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and then it goes to 1, so it's right in the middle of
I don't know.
Jason of all people.
Yeah,
And listen, I wolfed up after the meeting. I ate Wendy's as fast as a human being could possibly eat Wendy's. I'm disgusting too.
They're still restocking over it.
The problem is Ted takes 3-hour lunches. So.
I digest slowly.
Oh, okay.
No, Teddy's a very, very hard.
I don't
worker.
want indigestion.
Teddy is a very hard worker. Tim in Hartford, welcome to Back Office Radio. You have a comment about the spelling bee.
I sure do. And this is a serious question.
Sure.
Is Tim Sabian limited?
Is Tim Sabian what?
Limited?
Limited?
He wasn't even remotely close in spelling that.
There's a couple of things going on with Tim. Tim's obviously a bright guy, right?
Yeah, he's a great guy.
He's obviously a bright guy. He is not a good speller. We get I have to burp, and I don't know if I should do that.
Do it.
Just don't vomit.
Nah, it passed.
I'm going to vomit.
It's a Wendy's burp, my friend.
Oh, God.
The worst kind.
The worst kind of burp. No, Wendy's is awesome. I love Wendy's.
Yes.
So I know Tim's a smart guy. Tim does have an issue with spelling, but Tim sabotaged himself on purpose, and I think he does it as a defense mechanism. He goes in there, he's like, I'm not taking this seriously. He's playing on his BlackBerry. He's making jokes. Did you notice, and you'll see this when you watch it on Howard TV, for Howard TV subscribers, that he kept when other people were going, when he get the question wrong or right, he'd walk in a circle around Steve. Did you anyone notice that? It was the weirdest thing. He did it 3 or 4 times. He'd go, yeah, and he did a little walk, and then if he got it wrong, and he walk around. It was a weird OCD thing. I
heard he fixed the pillow on the couch.
Totally fixed the pillow.
He cannot leave that studio without fixing the pillow. We intentionally fuck it up. We throw it on the floor. We do whatever we can. But it's always back in the same place after Tim's done with it.
But I do not think Tim is limited, although I have to say, what was the one word? There was one word that was just he was so off on it.
Well, there was a couple examples. First, Steve said, I know vacuum has 2 C's or 2 U's, but I'm just not sure. And he actually learned from his mistake. The next time it came around, he tried first he tried 2 C's, and then the next time he tried 2 U's. The other 2 weren't even learning from their mistakes. They were just they spelled definitely wrong 3 different times, and I think Tim spelled it wrong the same time each time.
And Ronnie did that too. Ronnie did that. And Ronnie, I gotta say, Ronnie, who had all these histrionics earlier in the morning with John Lieberman, I hate when he does this. He's gonna be I'm cool and calm during the spelling bee.
But Ronnie's not supposed to be smart. He drives a car for a living.
I know, but
I mean, really, who are we kidding?
I mean,
he has to be able to read a stop sign.
Steve played it the way he'd been playing it in the office. He really didn't want to be doing it. He doesn't like looking like an idiot. I don't think he overacted or underacted. I think he was, pretty much himself.
He was angry.
He was angry.
He got really angry at Fred. Did you hear that?
No, I don't remember.
Fred questioned his spelling of Wednesday because he didn't say capital W. Oh, and Steve went nuts.
Oh,
you fucking asshole! What the fuck is wrong with you? I spelled that completely correctly. Don't bust my balls.
Does not take much to get Steve angry these days.
No.
It really doesn't. By the way, my brother just texted me. The word was definitely that Tim spelled D-I-F-F when he started spelling it.
D-I-F-F.
For definitely.
Whoop! Jason's chair just broke. Oh my God!
It was only a matter of time.
What a fucking moment! Oh my God!
I'm sure Howard TV has it.
The piston on Jason's chair just gave out.
Something.
Yes, it did.
It just collapsed like the World Trade Center.
Why can't we be on TV?
We have TV right there.
Yeah, but it's a month later. Oh, that's the
that
best.
poor chair.
Oh, what a fucking moment. Oh, my God.
We have in my catalogs I get from King Size Direct and other, fat guy places, they always have the fat guy chairs in the back.
Guaranteed to hold 1 ton.
Yeah. Well, do you remember that was even a concern going to Will's wedding? He sent me that email and he goes, yo, dude, I don't want me to be a dick, but the place told me the chairs can only hold 250 pounds.
Yeah, it was a real concern.
Yeah.
And didn't you try and go, what's the stupid thing with the zip cords?
No, when I was on
your honeymoon?
When I was on my honeymoon with my wife.
Yeah. Zip lining.
Zip lining, yeah.
I couldn't zip line. Well, we took a bunch of pamphlets from the resort we were at, and so horseback riding, zip lining, parasailing, and then we start going through them all, and I exceeded the weight limit on all of them.
Nope. Looks like I'll be sitting on the beach.
They should have special horses for fat guys.
Oh, yeah, great. They're called rhinos.
Yeah, right. Go to India on your next vacation.
Yeah.
You can ride an elephant.
Yeah, poor thing.
Graham and Charlotte, welcome to Back Office Radio.
Yeah, I'm surprised to hear that Gary was at the pitch meeting today. I thought he only came in the office Monday through Wednesday.
No, we're having writing meetings, and he was here today.
He was there front and center, my friend.
Front and center leading.
Gotcha. I just wanted to ask, who do you think the laziest person is in the back office?
I think you're talking to one of them on the air right now.
Other than Teddy?
Jason,
You think
don't
other
throw
than
yourself
Teddy?
down.
Oh, other than Teddy.
Oh. The laziest?
The laziest. No one recently, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I gave up.
I got a name.
I gave it
look
up for Lent.
later.
Is it? Well, it's Benji, right? Guys, if you're tuning in the Back Office Radio, trust me, we're getting a Benji in about 2 seconds. In fact, we have so many calls up. Sarah and Virginia, who do you think we should nominate for our douche of the week?
Well, I thought Scott had it nailed until Benji came on yesterday, and oh my God, way to sweep it and just knock it all out. Oh my God.
Wait, which Scott?
From the block party, all that block party.
Oh, okay, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people agree with you. Lorenzo in Florida, welcome to Back Office Radio. Who's your douche of the week?
Yeah, I definitely would nominate the couple, Elisa and Benji. I think it was so planned, and that's just they're the Vortex couple.
They are the Vortex couple. Dwayne in Iowa, welcome to Back Office Radio. Who's your douche of the week?
Well, I would have to say Ronnie was the leading candidate until yesterday's episode with Benji and Elisa. I just don't get it, and maybe you can shed some light on it, is how he doesn't understand with Gary and him on the wrap-up show. It's almost like when a kid goes to their parent and asks for something and they say no, and then they turn around and go to the other parent, and then it's just, how does he not get that correlation?
You know what, Will? Enough teasing, enough pussyfooting around it. Al?
Douche of the week.
Yay.
Teddy?
Yep. Well, it's pretty obvious. Douche of the week this week is Benji Bronk.
And now you had a specific reason.
Well, I mean, more so, someone said earlier, the couple. I actually, in this instance, feel bad for Elisa because I think that she kind of got shafted, being that the song they wanted to play was the heavily produced pop song that she sounds actually quasi-decent in. So then why agree to come in and play a cappella, play on a piano when that song just totally sucks?
So you think he set her up for failure?
Yeah, totally. I think what he did to her is grounds for divorce. So Elisa, I'm sorry, you should break up with him, and Benji, you are my
douche of the week.
William?
I'm going to go with Benji as well. I thought about it long and hard last night because you guys immediately said you didn't like Benji, and I had to, think about it, so, a little more than that.
Yeah, you're not as reactionary as I am.
No. So there's a guy here, Ari Fink. Do you know him? He's the greatest guy.
Jam On?
Yeah,
he's the man.
Jam On. He's a good guy.
Ari!
He sent out a tweet last night. He's like, basically, Tommy Mottola is a legend in this business.
Yes.
And Benji managed to steamroll the interview completely. And it really got to me because I was like, yeah, you know what? I would really want to just hear from Tommy Mottola. And all of a sudden, the whole fucking thing became about Benji and Elisa.
And how about he can't, obviously he could have a difference of opinion, but he basically said, well, Tommy's opinion, even though he's a music legend, doesn't mean anything to me.
Well, they were killing themselves to perform for Tommy, so clearly his opinion mattered before they knew what he was going to say. And I guarantee you, if Tommy said he liked what Elisa sang, it would have been the most important opinion on earth. But because he thought it was shitty, then, well, of course, it means nothing. Music's all the opinion.
So,
Mr. Benji Bronk, you are my
douche of the week.
I also have Benji as my douche of the week, and quite frankly, you two could leave the studio because I could do this for myself for an hour. I said it on the news, and I will reiterate it here. If I was Howard Stern or Howard gave me the power, I would have fired Benji that afternoon, and he would not be here at work on Monday. I thought it was disgusting how he hijacked the show. He hijacked a segment. When the segment spilled out through the commercial breaks into the hallway, he got up and left the show. He kicked out the cameras. He wouldn't let us be with them.
He ignored Gary.
He ignored Gary. He treated Gary with an insane amount of disrespect on the wrap-up show to the point where I can't believe that Gary didn't fire him or punch him.
I think he wanted to.
That was the maddest I'd seen Gary in a long time.
Yeah. He staged some fight or something in the hallway where he had Elisa throw a cupcake at him. So not only did he ruin a perfectly good cupcake, which is a crime in and of itself, there is cupcake. It's still there. They brought
there's stains on the carpet.
They brought our people up to clean it, and you know our people. They brought the janitors to clean whatever the carpet, and it's still a mess.
Why don't you get down there and suck it off?
Oh.
Steam clean, baby.
It broke the 2-second rule.
Now, I saw Benji pull you aside earlier today.
Yeah. Benji,
what did he say?
Benji pulled me into the green room about an hour before our show.
He said, "Hey, can I borrow a pair of pants?"
Benji, by the way, Benji had lost a lot of weight for a long time, and now with me losing weight and him gaining weight, I think we're getting close to him being bigger than me again.
Equals.
We're not there yet, but it's moving in the right direction for me. Anyway.
You better calm down. You better not get too comfortable with that girl because she really is a 10. Like, say what you want about her personality, about the way she sings. I think she's actually a good singer. She is a beautiful girl and way out of his league. Gorgeous. I would say, is there ever been a better advertisement for J-Date than Benji and Elisa? I mean, really.
As mad as I was about that whole segment when I walked out of the studio and she was standing talking to the Howard TV cameras and she's wearing a dress and I just staring at her legs. And I was just like, God damn. Like, all my anger went away. All right, so I'll tell you what. Benji is my
douche of the week.
But I will pontificate on this. So
please do.
There's more.
Let me be clear to the Howard Stern audience here. Because I was in all of these meetings. Howard and Gary said, hey, it would be cool if we got someone in to sing for Tommy so he could rate them. Benji, would Elisa want to do it? Nobody told Benji to have Elisa do it. It was just thrown out there. Benji said, let me check. It was made clear in several other meetings.
Wait, can you start that? I missed the beginning of that. You said this was his idea. You know that, right?
No, I thought we said we wanted someone to sing.
Benji brought this up to Gary, I believe. It was his pitch.
Either way, and it makes it worse for Benji if you're correct.
That's what I mean.
But either way, I witnessed several times, several different meetings, including the morning of the actual Tommy Mottola visit. Benji, she's coming in, she's singing one song. It has to be on the piano. We're not playing a track. We're not playing a CD. She has to sing live for him. If she doesn't want to do it, it's fine. No problem. But that's it. And he seemed to be fine with it.
Well, did you hear the shit yesterday on Wrap Up Show?
I didn't hear all of Wrap Up.
Where basically he wanted to bring in he wanted to bring in a grand piano, baby grand. He'd pay for them to bring it in, but still, it's always complicated with him. Right. It can't just be a fucking keyboard in front of her and she plays a song for 3 minutes and that's the end of it.
So let me break down what I saw yesterday on the air, and I'm pretty sure everyone's with me. First of all, I totally agree with Teddy. I mean, Elisa is not the bad guy in this situation. The way I see it is Benji and Elisa shit all over the show yesterday, except Elisa doesn't owe us anything. Elisa doesn't work here. Elisa doesn't wake up in the morning saying, how can I make the Howard Stern better or worse? You know, if my wife worked on the TV show and let me come on and do whatever the fuck I wanted to, whose fault is that?
Hers or mine? And it's worse than that. Benji promised her that if she came in, it sounds like this is what I'm getting from their conversations is if she came in, he would perform with her. He would make every effort to defend her and get up there and sing with her.
And that was absolutely the opposite of what he was told in the studio.
Exactly.
Which is, this isn't you and Elisa. This is Elisa, sing a song, take your judgment and leave.
He completely lied to her to get her in the studio, and that's what I think she was pissed off about.
Well, if he lied to her, she should leave him. If he didn't lie to her and told her the truth, well, that wouldn't make sense if he didn't lie to her, unless this was a whole setup. Either way, he should either be fired or dumped and fired, in my opinion.
From yesterday, talking to her, I didn't get the sense that she was just dying to get in there and perform for Tommy Mottola.
No, not
I felt
at all.
like she was coming in, kicking and screaming, that Benji was behind the entire thing.
She even said when she started, she's like, this isn't very good, I'm not very good, blah, 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 blah. You know, she had self-doubt from the beginning.
Well, I think she was trying to sabotage the thing before it even started.
Benji, my overriding impression of this entire thing is that Benji doesn't care about the show. I mean, he's kind of said it on the wrap-up show. He's like, oh, I don't defer to Howard. I don't kiss his ass like you guys do. I don't think everything he says is right and perfect. And clearly, I don't think everything we do all the time is awesome. I don't think everybody does. People like different things, you know? But He shit all over the show yesterday. He hijacked a segment. He didn't even let it evolve into a segment that might have been interesting to bring a crying Elisa into the studio. He stages some sort of stupid fight in the hallway. He shit all over the show. He showed Howard no respect. He showed us no respect to work hard on the show. And he showed the audience no respect. And after all of that motherfucker comes to me and goes, hey, can you make sure to put the links to Elisa's video on the website?
Oh, shut up.
It's all about her.
It's all about him and her. It's him and her.
Right.
Yeah,
Her-
and on the
her is
wrap-up
him.
show, he's like, they bring up the song, and he says the full title of the song. You know, make sure he says that, reiterates it perfectly clear so people can hear the full title of the song.
Because he will use this show to get his agenda out there any way he can.
So
That's all it's about.
So when Benji pulled me into the green room about an hour before our show, he's like, hey man, I think you're being really mean to me. I heard your news story the other day. I heard, you say I should be fired. I thought we were friends. And I said, Benji, I don't have a problem with you on the personal level in that sense. I have a problem with you at work. I have a problem with what you did with the show yesterday. And that's how I feel. And if that makes me mean, then that makes me mean. So that's your opinion of me.
He was definitely doing damage control. I think he was trying to convince you not to bring this up today because he knows it makes him look bad.
Whoops. Well, he makes himself look bad.
Yeah, of course.
I just reinforce it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after all that, who was late to the writers' meeting today?
Benji. 10 minutes late.
He couldn't find his other lifted sneaker.
10 motherfucking minutes
and you know
late.
what it is?
And he's supposedly one of our head writers.
It's that typical Benji move, too, where it's like, he's not real late. It's not like you can go, oh, he showed up an hour late, he's a fucking total asshole. It's just a little bit, it's just pushing it just a little bit.
Was he wearing the black pea coat he's been wearing since last November?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Cupcake all over
the meeting had already started when he walked in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to him.
And he'll say, well, I was a few minutes, it's not that big a deal. But
we should start instituting those if I was in charge, somebody fucking put me in charge. If I was in charge, we'd have the Tom Coughlin rules. If you're 5 minutes early, you're late. Like, you should be in your seat waiting at 5 minutes before the meeting starts. So we can start at 10 and get the fuck out of there. Not waiting for Benji and his fucking fat ass to walk in there. And then he sits there and he's just like, starts pitching ideas. Right? And it's just like, dude, you know what? We know you're here. You can just pipe down.
Wow.
JP in Toronto, welcome to back. I told you I was filled with hate.
I was going to say, we know he's angry when he's making fat jokes.
Wow. Yeah, I know. Really? I'm sorry. You're right. That's wrong. The fat people are good people. JP in Toronto, welcome to Back Office Radio.
Hey guys, thanks for taking my call. 3 weeks in a row, you guys are awesome.
Thank you.
Just to continue on with the subject of Mr. Bronk, I was wondering, it was really great to hear him be genuine on the wrap-up show yesterday, but even though the subject was him, he wouldn't answer questions. Now, what's it like in the back office? Does anyone actually ever get serious with this guy, or is it barely chit-chat because, you just get shtick-ola?
It's, for me, I mean, look, there are topics that Benji's genuinely interested in real life, and you could talk to him about that. He likes, I can't think of one right off the top of my head, but I've had conversations about specific things and you could have that he's into that you could have a conversation with. But I've told the story on the air before. Excuse me. Now I've heard.
The Wendy's burp.
Disgusting.
So, guys, hate and Wendy's. It doesn't go mix well together. Okay. When I first started on the show, I didn't, I was very young. I wasn't taking Lexapro. I was a very different Jason Kaplan. And I had to get some forms filled out from everyone on the staff. It was basic information. Your address, your birthday, your, social security number. It was basically so you could get paid.
It's private.
What did he write?
He wouldn't do it.
Like, even social security number?
He goes, I don't feel comfortable giving you this information. So then I said, well, should I have Gary come and get it? And then he said, I don't feel comfortable giving anyone this information. And I don't see why I have to. It's just constant.
Like, when you stick with a joke or something because you think it's so funny and you're just you committed to it and you're going to stick with it. Well, he's committed to like a 25-year-old joke that's just not
that's
funny.
His life.
And
his life is a joke.
By the way, Benji does do a lot of good shit for the show.
He's very funny.
A lot of jokes. He's in there writing constantly during the show. I still maintain that Howard TV should put a camera on him at all times because I think it's very, very cool to watch him work. How fast he writes his ideas. I'm not trying to say that Benji contributes nothing to the show, but in this instance and instances like it in the past, I think that's grounds for being funny.
I have a great bit idea, which I probably shouldn't say on the air, but let's hire a private investigator to follow Benji.
You're paying for that?
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate that.
No, we'll split it 3 ways.
Well, you should have been in our pitch meeting today.
And then let's just follow
That would have been the third best idea pitch, by the way.
I want to find out where he lives. I want to find out what he does. I want to find out everything about him.
Benji plays that card all the time, what you just said, because he knows he's a talented writer and he knows that Howard relies on him. So he can push it as far as he wants.
I hate to break it to Benji. There are other funny people in America. There are other funny people in America. There are people who would come here and be on time without having to be scolded 500,000 times by Howard and Gary. There are people who would come here and show Gary respect for at least the first 3 weeks. There are funny people. You are not none of us are irreplaceable. None of us. Except Howard. Howard's the only irreplaceable person here.
Absolutely.
And Benji's got to get off that. I think I said all I want to say is,
how many times have we had this discussion, by the way?
Well,
I mean, we haven't personally,
right.
but it's happened on the show. It's on the wrap-up show every week.
And by the way, some other notes. So if, and I'll give Elisa Schwartz or whatever her name is, some shit here. Elisa Jordana, sorry. I don't know if she took this seriously or not. I don't know how Benji presented it to her. And this is on Howard TV. She brought a bottle of vodka with her. She's chugging it. She clearly went on the air inebriated in some way.
7 in the morning, by the way.
At 7 in the morning. I don't know. I don't care if you're the greatest singer in the world. I don't think if you're serious about pitching yourself to a music exec. Right.
She was setting herself up for failure.
It was obnoxious. And then, she and Richie Wilson got in some weird fight.
He didn't exchange. We actually have audio of it.
And by the way, this is our exclusive Howard TV clip. They gave it to us. Check this out.
Richie, hi.
Yeah.
What do you mean, yeah? What the fuck's your problem? Fucking idiot.
Excuse me?
What? I'm like, hi. You're like, yeah.
I don't have much to say to you.
Oh, really? Oh, because I'm so offensive to you?
No. I'm just trying to keep it.
Oh, really? Because it's like so bad that I'm like, exist? Like,
no, I'm just trying to keep it.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay.
Not saying anything offensive, I just trying to keep it this way.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. You're so great. I really hate that guy. Okay, let's go.
Yowzers.
She really hates Richie Wilson. Like Richie Wilson gives a fuck.
Well, you know what this goes back to?
What?
It's when Benji or Richie and Rachel Fine got married. They only invited Benji to the wedding. They refused to invite what's her name?
Elisa.
Right.
Because they didn't want the shtick.
Right. No, and it made
the tag team.
It made total sense. But I really feel, and I don't know if you feel the same way, that Richie has changed a lot since his wedding. He couldn't be a nicer guy around the hall.
He's become one of my better friends around here.
He's really good guy.
If me from 10 years ago would have thought I was crazy to say that.
Yeah.
I love Rachel. I think that's a lot of that stems from, I love Rachel. Rachel seems to like me a lot. Richie has definitely mellowed or I don't know, has a new outlook on life in the last few years. Either way, whatever it is, Richie is a very likable person. He has been great to me. I know Gary was just saying the other day how much better he feels that he and Richie kind of cleared the air and are now genuinely getting along.
The Richie a few years ago would have taken Elisa's head and thrown it through the wall.
Yeah.
Which might have been great radio.
Yeah.
But, as a normal human being, he did the right thing. He was very calm in that conversation, and she was kind of ranting at him, and, all right, he comes out looking mature somehow.
Let's take a couple more Benji calls and then put this to bed. I mean, I think I've made my feelings on this clear. All right. Chance in Kansas City, welcome to Back Office Radio.
Hey, guys, what's happened? My comment was in listening to the debate or discussion about the planning for Benji and Elisa's deal. If her intention was to never play that disco song or whatever, why was it so readily queued up for Howard? I'm sure Howard doesn't keep her CD set.
Because Benji queued it up. Benji, we have a profit system, it's called. It's where you can put digitize, I don't know how to explain it. You go steady, you explain it.
Yeah, well, it's basically like a giant digital music platform with, buttons and you can just load anything and do it and play everything like we just played that audio. Question is, who did Benji give that song to and who put it into profit?
Scott.
It's probably Scott, but you know what? That's not Scott's job to question Benji.
No, it's not his fault.
Well, not only that, we want to be prepared for the segment. We have every...
So Gary had no
Gary
clue that was up on the wall?
No, he knew it was in the system. Everyone knew it was in there. And that's when Benji went to Gary and said, hey, I loaded this in the profit. If we want to play it. Gary
it's up
said,
there. Play it. Yeah.
Gary said, no, don't go to it. So, we have a system here where we can access a lot of things. Deandra, a former intern of ours, is on the phone.
Hey, guys.
Miss... what were you, Miss Intern? What do we call the fucking
Miss Intern pageant? I don't know.
Beauty pageant. Winner of the beauty pageant.
Yeah, 2005.
She wore a tight little yellow bikini.
And you know what the other thing about
That's
Deandra?
That's not creepy that you remember that.
She offered to live with JD, and JD turned her down.
And I think he's living with those same people, right?
He is.
Like
Exactly.
a couple, or what a bummer.
Well, they all left. He's by himself now.
I'm waiting for
Him
a
and the rats.
revival. If you guys ever want to have, the old intern pageant winners back, I'm game.
Yeah, the key word there was old, so no. Just kidding, Deandra. I love you.
Maybe the ones that are still intact.
Yeah. Hey, Deandra, do you have a comment on Benji or?
Well, I got a quick one on Benji. If I had to say douche of the week, I would say it's Elisa, because she was just so annoying and her song was so horrible. But,
I actually liked the song.
You did?
Yeah, I didn't think it was that bad. You hated it?
I didn't hate it. Oh, I didn't.
It's the same thing. The whole thing was just the same line, something about the world or whatever.
I didn't hate it. I also didn't think it was good.
You know, I was looking at her. That always helps a lot.
Yeah, it always helps.
I actually don't mind her at all, but what was like less redeeming about it was I know Lisa G was enjoying that way too much about, that she kind of fumbled in there, and I can't stand Lisa G, so anything that makes her happy is not going to make me happy. So that's my only comment about that. But I'm calling you, Jason, in particular, because tomorrow's February 1st. What's that mean?
It means nothing. My sobriety ends on February 4th. That would be, I'm doing exactly 31 days. So no one could accuse me
Boy Scout.
of shortchanging the month. I am doing 31 full days of no pot smoking. So February 3rd will be my last full day. That's Sunday. On Monday morning, I come to work. I am a free man, and after work, whatever happens,
you
happens.
have to be sober for the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I don't care. I think, honestly...
At this point, I mean, you've been through everything.
Yeah, I've been to Vegas, I've been to AC,
I know, we couldn't have tempted you more. Peter Luger's...
And by the way, and you guys...
Yeah.
You guys have all been around me. I have good willpower,
I was going to say, it's been a very smooth transition.
Strong as a bull.
I mean, in Atlantic City, and we will definitely be talking about that more on the show. I mean, and our fans are awesome. Hey, thanks, Deandra, for the call.
Thanks, Deandra.
I was offered weed left and right constantly throughout the day. People that said, come smoke some hash, come smoke this, come to our room, come to our car. And, I said no to everybody, unfortunately. And
you have amazing willpower as long as it's not deep fried.
Except when it's Wendy's.
Exactly.
Well, I tell you, I'd rather give up fast food than any of that. Guys, do we put this Benji thing to rest at this point? Or any other comments, anything we're missing from this whole shenanigan?
I don't know. I can't think of anything.
For at least the next 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, really.
Then coming up, we will talk about, speaking of some food, we talked about our big steak dinner. All of us went out. We ate. There are pictures up on howardstern.com if you want to see. I'm just kidding.
Oh, my God. What was that? Oh.
It was like a burp I tried to suppress.
I think you almost gave birth to a calf there.
Don't do that again.
Sorry.
That was vile.
You told me not to move away from the mic. I didn't do it.
Fucking die.
You still can't finish your words.
No, I'm waiting for you guys.
Yeah. No, finish. Go.
Try not to swallow a burger. Chew a few times.
I have mouth
okay?
sweats. I have mouth sweats.
We'll talk about our steak dinner, whatever the hell that was just in my mouth.
Oh!
Next on Howard 101.
You're listening to Back Office Radio with Will and Jason on Howard 101. Kicking ass and ruining holidays. This is Back Office Radio with Will and Jason on Howard 101.
Whose holiday? I already forget what that bit.
I think it was about the Christmas holiday. We came back and reported what an obnoxious, crazy animal.
Steve said you ruined Christmas.
Oh, Steve.
Yes. Oh, that's right.
I always thought it was Lieberman. That big pumpkin head woman grabbing animal.
For those of you that love Steve segments on the show, we don't have him on our list this week, but don't worry. Don't worry.
You got more in store?
Oh, I mean, Steve's a fucking machine when it comes to crazy shit in the office.
He is.
You all right? What are you looking at?
No, I thought this window was a mirror. I was like, who the fuck is walking in the studio right now?
You weren't
He's
there.
really creepy looking, too.
Jason, how you feeling?
Oh,
Better?
you're good. Hey,
you all
what's
right?
up, man?
Is your stomach settled now?
No, my stomach is never settled. Yeah, you got that glazed over. I'm going to do a little transition here. You got that glazed over look like when we're at our steak dinner when Richard Christie chugged half a bottle of wine.
We got to talk about
that. And he
that.
goes, I'm composed. And then all of a sudden that glaze, that just drunken hick glaze comes
that was
down
the
over
thing.
his eyes.
He drank, I think if we estimate what he did maybe 10 beers in the car on the way over. Then he said he drank a beer with every glass of wine he had, and he had at least 3 or 4 glasses of wine. So that's up to like 16 drinks. Then he had the 2 shots with the coffee.
Yep.
And then at the end of the night, we had.
Did you mention the 10 beers?
Yes.
Okay.
We had 3/4 of a bottle of wine left.
Right. Did you mention all the beers he drank on the limo on the way over?
That's what I'm saying. Those were the 10 beers.
No, they weren't.
What do you mean?
I think he said he had 10 beers at the restaurant.
No. I said he had 10 beers or so going over to the restaurant. Then he had a glass of wine and a beer with each, with every glass of wine, he had a glass, a beer. So that's up to 6 drinks, so 16 drinks.
Ugh.
Then the 2 shots with his coffee, right? And then so we had 3/4 of a bottle of wine left over at that point. And he just fills up his wine glass, which is a large wine glass. I would say it held about 3 glasses of wine.
Yes.
He filled that up to the top.
It was almost 3/4 of a bottle of wine he poured in.
And this is after we ate just an enormous steak dinner. So I go, oh, that'll last in the next hour and a half. He proceeds to chug it in about 3 seconds. He must have that, special talent that alcoholics have when they can just open their throat and it just goes right down.
Yeah.
And he goes, don't worry, I'm composed. And I'm like,
composed.
He drinks a lot. This guy drinks all the time, so maybe he will be able to hold it. 3 seconds later, literally, within 3 to 10 seconds later, you just see the glaze come over his face, just like you described.
Yeah.
And he was gone. That was it. He was done for the rest of the night.
Welcome back to Back Office Radio here on Howard 101. You're listening to the beginnings of our steak dinner conversation. You can give us a call at 888-STERN-101. That's 888-783-7610. For those of you who don't know, Gary and John Hine, even though Gary somehow got most of the credit on the air, not his fault.
John Hine deserves a lot of credit.
John Hine actually put this big dinner together. It was supposed to be a Christmas dinner. We ended up doing it in late January.
Because of Will.
He and Gary, and Will, the father.
By the way, we had the entire upstairs almost empty to ourselves.
That is true.
Okay? Which would never have happened around Christmas time, so you two fuckers can go fuck yourself.
They took us out to Peter Luger's, which is a legendary steakhouse in New York.
For less evolved people.
We'll get to that in a second. They took us out. It was me, it was Will, it was Teddy, it was Sal. Sal was invited, but ended up not going. Richard Christie, Jim McClure, Steve Brandano, Tim Sabian, Tracy Millman,
Scott Salem,
J.D. Harmeyer, and Ronnie Mund.
You're supposed to forget Scott. That's what we do at all events.
And of course, the pictures are up on howardstern.com. First of all, again, thank you, Gary and John. Before we get into the news and notes of the dinner, it was an excellent time. I had a blast. Great food, good people.
We've all been working really hard, and it was just fun to go out for a night with the boys and a girl and just have a blast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we don't do that very often.
No.
Most of these social occasions, it's like you bring the wives, and then there's a whole different dynamic there because nobody really knows each other. This was just like party time. It was a lot of fun.
And like you said, we had this huge table in the room that was virtually empty. There was one other party there, and they were almost louder than we were. So we could just be as loud as we wanted. It was fine. We weren't the ones that even stood out at that place. So it was a lot of fun. And I know Howard went over some of this on the air, but just to give you an idea of how we even got there. So Tim Sabian, who is a very, very generous boss.
Bad speller, very generous guy.
Very generous guy. Gary and John would not let him contribute to the dinner at all, money-wise. So he instead got us a gigantic limo. It was like the prom. And it picked us up at the station and drove us all the way over where would we go? Brooklyn?
Williamsburg, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't looking out the window.
It was most of us. Who wasn't in the limo? The diabetics.
The diabetics.
Yeah.
John and Steve took their own car.
I think JD was with them.
I thought JD was with us.
No.
Oh, maybe on the way back.
You think there was room for JD in that limo?
Boy, does John Hine have a clique or what, huh? It's Brandano and JD.
They don't leave his side.
It's like high school.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he is, they orbit him because he's kind of the size of a planet.
It's 2 guys with diabetes and a guy a year away from diabetes.
That sounds like a bumper.
And I knew, I thought it was just going to be a fun dinner, whatever. We were going to do Back Off Radio and go. And then all of a sudden we finish the show and we go back in the compound and Tracy hands me a bag of booze and I was like, oh, all right, this is going to be this kind of party. We get
Hell
a limo.
yeah.
Oh yeah, we get in the limo. And by the way, the booze in the limo, it's so funny. People send, we have sponsors, alcohol sponsors on the show. They'll usually send
We used to.
We
had some Avion in there.
So, we did have some Avion.
We did have the Avion.
And no joke, I don't care if they're sponsors or not. I fucking love Avion tequila. I'm a big tequila drinker, and Avion is awesome.
Good stuff.
It really is, and I was psyched to see it there. But we had some free alcohol sent to the show, so we had bottles of New York Jets wine.
New York Jets wine, which we just got. That was new.
That
Delicious.
was new. And by the way, it wasn't that bad. Yeah. It wasn't that bad.
I actually had a glass last night. It was pretty good. Way better than the team.
So, actually, Teddy and Tracy and I were drinking wine, and they brought down some coffee cups with lids, and Teddy starts pouring me and him and I, well, I don't fucking know, a glass of the wine, and Tracy's like, you guys should put a lid on it. And we're like, why? What's going to happen? We're not filling up the entire glass. We're filling up, a quarter of the glass with the wine. But I was like, fuck it, I'll put the lid on. 5 seconds after I put the lid on, Tim literally dove into the limo.
Yeah.
Like head first, just...
Timmy coming through.
It was hilarious.
And
you knew that was coming.
I got wine all over me with the lid on. So I couldn't have imagined what would have happened if my lid was on.
I know I was drinking Bud Light Wheat. And then somebody told me that it was actually discontinued 5 years ago.
Yeah, I did.
But like wheat beer.
Right.
And we also had a bunch of pumpkin ale that literally nobody would drink but Richard.
Of course.
There were people, I think
I love this.
you and Gary both said, I'll take a beer unless all that's left is pumpkin, and then I'll just not drink.
I'll bathe in this stuff.
Tim, by the way, with the limo.
Daddy, pass me another pumpkin.
Tim with the limo, and it's so funny because I don't believe he told the limo driver any of this, but he's just like, guys, take it home. Gary, take it to Connecticut. Keep it through the weekend, whatever you want.
That was the best on the way back. Yeah, exactly. You know, Gary, he was planning on spending the night, but I guess he didn't get as hammered as he thought, or we ended way earlier than he thought we would. So he needed a ride. So Tim's like, take this limo for the entire night, all the way up to Connecticut. The limo driver was super pissed off. It was hilarious.
What?
And then Tim's like, you know what, just keep it till Monday.
Just keep it till Monday.
I'm like, what is the limo driver going to sleep in your fucking driveway?
Tim's awesome. Tim is awesome. We learned, and Howard talked about this on the show, Ronnie doesn't eat red meat, which was kind of shocking because you're in this steak, you're at this great steakhouse, and it's not that we're in a steakhouse, but it's the fact that who knew that Ronnie didn't eat red meat? He's so manly.
Right.
Stereotypical.
He's like a Neanderthal.
Right.
Yeah.
Eating red meat is a stereotypical manly thing. And, and so it's just weird to learn that Ronnie didn't eat the red meat.
He is the least evolved person on the show, so it makes sense.
You should have seen his face when the waiter came around and he goes, "You got any pork chops?" And the guy was like,
and by the way, I hate to break it to Ronnie, pork chops are red meat.
Are they?
No,
We
it's
had
the
an
other
argument.
it's the other white
It's
meat.
a white meat.
No, it's not. It's red meat.
I know, it is red meat.
Thank
I guess
you.
Jason's the expert.
No, trust me on this one.
I argue food.
Guys, did you go to Meatopia?
No.
Did you go to Meatopia, Will?
No.
Okay. Thank you for answering for Will. And speaking of evolved, Matt in Massachusetts, welcome to Back Office Radio. You heard Howard say something about this week.
Yeah, I mean, didn't he said, why'd you guys go to a steakhouse? I mean, who really eats red meat anymore? And I mean, maybe in his circle of people he hangs around with, that's true, but I mean, out of people in the room right now, who doesn't eat meat? Out of you guys.
Admit it, and we'll stone you, pussies.
I'm not going to comment on who Howard hangs out with and doesn't hang out with. I mean, I've seen Howard's eating evolve over the years where, he used to eat chicken like it was going out of style, and now he doesn't eat chicken anymore. And Howard's perfectly free to do whatever he wants, but, I know a few vegetarians. I know Ronnie doesn't eat red meat. I know people who don't prefer red meat, but will eat it when served. Just like there are some foods I actually don't prefer, but we'll eat it if you put it in front of me.
The bottom line is, if you're going out with a group of guys and you're going to do a big dinner and you're going to have a fucking fun time, you're going to a steakhouse. You're not going to sushi. You're not going to a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, 12 guys going to get sushi. What's next? A Sex and the City tour?
Exactly.
Come on, guys, let's go to Just Salads.
I know. I mean, when we go to Luger's and then afterwards you want to run down the street and flip over cars. You feel like a fucking dinosaur.
I love red meat. You know what? I'm so pissed. Howard said on the air, that, what would you, the way, cause I like really rare meat, like,
Yeah, you like it too rare.
Yeah. Well,
Wouldn't you say you want it blue?
Yeah, blue.
Oh, yeah. And I made a point to sit next to Jason because
Did we get
like
the awful clip
way.
of Jason? What did he say earlier in the show, though?
Wait, hold on. But before you hit that clip, I just want to say that Howard said, ew, that's disgusting. What would you do? Want to just bite into a cow? And you know what? I do want to bite just into it. I would.
You would not do that.
I would just bite into it. No, I don't like the skin.
We can make that a Howard TV special, by the way.
What? Me?
Jason just on a farm biting cows.
Oh my God. I love it. And I know we overate that night. It was a night for overeating. Eating anything of that quantity isn't any good. And, but oh God, I barely want it cooked. I know, it's disgusting. And I think Howard actually compared eating a cow to eating a human being. And all right, so this is what I said on the air. If humans tasted that good, there'd be a restaurant. That's damn right.
Would you eat a human?
If it tasted like steak?
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't want human beings being killed for me. But let's just say morally it was okay. Yeah, I'd fucking eat it.
You know, there's like a restaurant in Cambodia where that actually
Does
happens.
that mean if humans taste good, that babies taste better, like veal?
I'm not a veal guy, believe it or not.
I mean, Owen.
We could eat Owen's foot.
No,
I'll eat Owen's foot.
Thigh,
Look it up.
baby.
You would
thigh.
eat Owen's foot. Thigh.
Yeah, thigh.
All right.
I think that I think people have eaten people before, and if it tasted that good, somebody somewhere would be trying to figure out how to market human meat.
Fair enough.
Right? Okay. Yeah, I don't know, but I like red meat, and almost all of my friends like red meat, and maybe we're not evolved. I don't know, but I don't care either.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the bottom line. I really don't give a shit if I'm a retard or not.
Yeah, I mean, there is just nothing better than getting a nice steak, putting some salt and pepper on it, throwing it on the grill.
All right, Jason.
In fact, I think we have a clip of me eating a live cow. Do we have that?
Why are you laughing after you eat the cow? That's so heartless of you.
Because I'm enjoying myself so much. There's actually a picture.
That laugh sends shivers down the spine of everyone who works here.
It sounds like the 60 Minutes tick of Jason's laughing.
That's so funny.
Tonight on 60 Minutes, Jason eats a cow. And in fact, if you go here, I'm going to pull it up now so you can see it, Will. If you go to howardstern.com and where I posted pictures from the steak dinner, there is just a picture of me with my eyes closed, and you can tell I am in heaven. Hold on. Yeah, that's it. Oh, you can also see a picture of the rare meat that we were eating, and you can see how blue
and
it
the
is.
Sunday that you polished off.
And quite frank, oh my God, the Sunday.
That was the other thing.
Oh yeah, he didn't like the. Look, that kind of skeeves me out too about sharing. That's why I was first, and I just took like 3 quick bites.
I mean, I know I'm the little guy on the team here, but I went through appetizers and steak, and I was done. Like, that was it.
Oh, you didn't have room
then
for
they
a
bring
fucking
out
bite of Sunday.
Fucking 12 desserts. Stop it. What are you talking about? You come here, pussy, you asshole.
Yes, exactly.
These guys managed to finish off, 4 sundaes, 2 key lime pies, 2, what's that shit called? The
Schlag. Oh, schlag.
It's whipped cream.
What else was there out there?
Gelt, that gold chocolate
the coins,
candy.
yeah, Gary was popping those down like Tic Tacs.
And that was crazy. Okay, so here's the deal. I didn't think I was going to be hungry for the sundae. I'm like, I'll just have hot fudge sundae is one of my favorites though. So I'm like, all right, I'll have a bite. And it was so good. I just kept going back for more and more and more. And I'll say it, I probably finished close to a whole sundae myself. I think Tim Fry finished another one and Gary finished another one. I hate key lime pie, so I didn't have any of that.
That was really good, actually.
Yeah.
Should have tried it.
I didn't try any of it.
Schlag on
You didn't
top?
have anything?
I didn't try one thing.
Didn't somebody get a piece of cheesecake or something? You didn't try that?
No. That was it. I was done.
But I have to tell you, there was a moment the ice cream was gone. Everything was pretty much winding up the night, and I'm just leaning back in my chair, and it's really one of those open up your button, like just I'm done, I'm out, I'm starting to sweat, like that kind of thing.
Jason's ready to go home and spew cow chunks all over the fucking toilet.
And I'm sitting across from Gary, and he is just mindlessly just opening up those gold chocolates and just popping them in his mouth. I'm like, I couldn't believe it. I'm just like, where are you finding the room?
Where's the room? He hides it behind his teeth.
Then everybody left, and the guys put everything in doggy bags because there was a little bit of leftover meat. Not much, but and then all the bones, too. The big T-bone, you get with the porterhouse. And then you guys all split, and it's all sitting there in bags. So I just grabbed all of them, and I'm like, does anybody want some? And Gary took a little bit, but I pretty much went home with all the leftovers, which was great. The wife and I boiled down the bones, made a stock, and made a
They made the tastiest mushroom stew you could ever have.
Yeah, a little mushroom beef stroke me off.
I'm not a big beef stroganoff, but that sounds delicious.
It was.
Wow, we finally found something you don't like.
I don't egg noodles, delish, man.
My dad loves that stuff. I'm not a big stew guy. I don't like meat that sits around cooking and getting soft and like that kind of. I don't like
you
that.
like it breathing.
I like it breathing. Yes, I want it to. When I eat it. That's exactly what I want. Kim from Illinois, welcome to Back Office Radio.
Hi. My question is for Jason. Jason, after on the 4th, are you willing to take a drug test on the air with Howard?
I would, but I don't believe that THC leaves your system that fast.
It does. 4 weeks.
4 weeks?
Yeah.
Then absolutely. I mean,
have you been drinking a lot of water, too? Like you normally every day? Do you drink water?
I don't know if I drink a lot of water.
Teddy can tell you how to pass a drug test, by the way.
No, I mean, if you're a habitual daily smoker, it might not clear all out in 4 weeks, but... I'm
a habitual daily smoker for 13 years. Yeah.
So
but I like... we'll get to that in a second.
By the way, my wife just texted me that you are banned from seeing our son anymore.
Oh. What, because of the thigh comment?
Well, yeah, you're threatening to eat him.
You offered him.
Well, that's a good point.
Only if he's lathered in butter will she...
Tracy, I'm not going to kidnap your kid and eat him, but if I come over and Will's like, hey, listen, we're serving Owen thigh, I'm not going to leave.
You'll take a bite.
I'll take a bite. You guys are good hosts.
Turn it down.
Try it.
There's starving people in the world.
But I won't say who, but let's just say some people during the course of the steak dinner took a walk around the block, a walk that I would normally be leading,
right.
And you guys were there to witness. I did not go on this walk.
Did not
go on the walk.
By the way, I got a glimpse at the bill.
Really?
You did?
I did.
Well, I think they talked about it on the air.
Did they?
I think
they said
did.
how much. They said Howard asked.
I think it was
$1,600, and then he said $2,000 with tip.
Wow.
Well,
that's hardcore, man.
That's hardcore. That's $1,500 from John and $500 from Gary. No, I'm sure they split it
12
evenly.
or 13 people? I don't know. Do the math, Will. What's it per person?
Well,
this is the Howard bit. I don't know.
It's hard.
I think it makes sense. I think when you go out to a place like that, you're figuring $125 to $150.
That's what I thought it came out.
Yeah,
it might have come out cheap because we must have gone through like 8 bottles of wine.
Yeah, that's where it gets pricey.
Richard drank 3 on his own.
I know.
That wine actually was cheaper than because they put me in charge of ordering the wine.
Cheap? What you said? $50
$50 a bottle. Yeah,
so if we got 8 bottles,
$400.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Also, we'll do a great wrap on this because you and I both couldn't believe how JD holds his fork.
Oh my God!
How does he do it?
I look over and he's got his thumb on the top and his fingers. Like, you know when your parents teach you manners as a kid and you're like, why do I have to do this?
Right.
This is exactly why you have to do this, so you don't look like a complete moron when you go out when you're older.
Wait.
Yeah,
thumb on top?
Thumb on top, and then he had like 2 fingers wrapped around one side and then 2 around the other side, and he was just like stabbing at it and then putting it in his mouth like backwards.
Yeah. Like you know how sometimes like you hold the fork one way where you're cutting the meat and then you kind of readjust to put it in your mouth?
That's acceptable.
Yeah. There was no readjustment.
Yeah, exactly.
He held the fork like a second grader holding a pencil for the first time.
You have it so it curves away, like down, and you cut it, and that way when you pick it up, it's facing the right way, and it's boom, it's in your mouth.
It's literally like JD was raised by no one.
I'm sure Jason has very efficient methods of fork handling.
No, I don't think I'm anything special. I mean, I can use a chopstick.
Right.
Can you?
I'm surprised the rats in his apartment haven't complained about that yet.
JD's apartment. Yeah, so he does. Also, another interesting thing, Tracy Millman, who is awesome, and, I don't know if it's insulting to call a woman one of the guys, but she really is kind of one of the guys where you can sit and bullshit with her and kind of be yourself and she doesn't get offended.
We actually established she's not one of the guys.
On the way home in the limo, when we're now just full and drunk and just tired and
full guy mode,
we were talking about some people we knew in the past and making fun of them and saying horrible things.
The horrible things we want to do to women, basically.
Horrible things we want. And we look over and Tracy is just horrified. Yeah. just horrified.
Yeah, I mean, she looked like somebody shit in the limo. She had that face on.
Damn it, I missed it.
Yeah. It really looked like she walked way too into the locker room. So Sal was supposed to be there. Oh. And we learned that Sal couldn't go because he didn't tell his wife about the dinner to the night before. And so instead of being with us, he was at his kid's concert. To which Tim, who's a great guy, kept texting Sal pictures of food all night and video of us having fun and all this great stuff. So Sal, in turn, texted us what he was listening to while we were eating. And if you haven't felt bad for Sal before, you will when you hear this. It sounded... You know what's ironic?
Not done yet, Jason. All together now.
Yay! The ironic thing is that's a little bit how I sounded in the bathroom the next morning.
It's so funny. It was like such a shitty like middle school concert. And the funny thing is that song is called Popcorn, I guess. And they all like stand up and do like a whole dance routine with it too. It's just awful.
Here we're talking to Steve in Florida. Welcome to Back Office Radio.
Hey guys, how you guys doing?
Doing good, brother.
Good. You guys are the third greatest show on the channel.
What's the second greatest show on the channel?
Anyway.
What's the second one?
Repeats of the Howard Stern Show.
Repeats of the Howard
Stern.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyway, get to your point.
Yeah, listen, Jason, have you ever had your steak Pittsburgh style?
That is blue. That's like barely. Oh. That's like what? Just seared very quickly on the outside.
Exactly. It's like tuna tartare, but for filet mignon.
Wow. I've actually had beef tartare before at Del Frisco's downstairs.
I think I've done that too.
And my problem with beef tartare, you got to get it served right. And this isn't an indictment on Del Frisco, but a lot of people just throw too much salt on it. It becomes too salty. I don't know if that's to cure the meat, if that's to, I don't know. So I would like to get a true Pittsburgh blue. I was kind of pissed off because where Teddy and I were sitting we're next to Tracy and Ronnie, who both ordered the meat burnt, which is disgusting.
Yeah, you can't do that. If you're going to go to a nice steakhouse like that, you don't do well done.
For some reason, by electricity or something, their burnt steak started cooking ours more.
Yeah, it was weird because we got the medium rare just like the rest of the table got the medium rare, and ours was probably the most cooked of all the steaks because I know JD was joking. At one point, I was eating meat off his plate because I look over and his meat
had better meat.
Yeah, it's clearly more rare than the meat we had, and I would eat Pittsburgh Blue. I do it in a second. The deal is, if you get high quality meat that's, not fucked around, you could point to the farm it came from. It didn't go through all this processing. You could pretty much eat it rare. It's just like sushi. If you get high sushi grade fish, you can eat raw fish. Yeah. So, and I love the taste of it. The rarer, the better.
Well, we'll just have to go back, won't we?
We'll go back.
And by the way,
I was going to say the last thing that I thought was funny was that the table was so big that it was literally almost divided into 3 tables.
Right.
And what do we have? We had Gary and John look across from each other on the table like they were on their own date. And then, of course, JD at John's side because he doesn't leave it. He's like a fucking lost dog. And then it was me, Jimmy McClure, Scott Salem. Oh, thank God I had him on my side. Richard, who was drunk out of his mind, and Steve Brandano.
Right.
And then who was on your side?
I was sitting next to Teddy, Ronnie, Tim, and Tracy. That was our little crew down there. And then there was like Gary, John, and JD kind of in the middle of the table.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It was cute. Gary and John sat right in the middle on each side, like right across from each other.
Right. And flipped little, what are those things called? The coins in each other's mouths. Gelts.
And also, by the way, and Gary pointed this out, Teddy, you are in your element. This is where you shine. This is where drinking, eating, hosting a party.
Spending other people's money is Teddy Sports Hat.
Yay! More cream spinach.
Bring this, bring this.
Gary goes, I never knew that Teddy had such a personality.
Oh, thanks. It's only been 7 years.
So that was our big steak dinner. Again, huge thank you to Gary and John for
Thank you. We love you.
Especially
Thanks, guys.
taking us all out. And I'm sure we'll hear from the Howard TV guys all about what the big Doug Goodstein hosted dinner.
Next year, it's on Will and Jason.
Was there?
No, nothing.
What? No, Doug didn't do anything for you guys? No? No dinner? No Lugers?
Applebee's?
Still waiting, he says.
Wow, that's too bad. You're listening to Back Office Radio on Howard 101, and coming up, back on the block party, backstage at the block party.
We were all in Atlantic City, baby.
We have a lot to say about this, and we have an announcement about the future of a possible event with me, Will, and Teddy. Next on Howard 101.
This is Back Office Radio with Will and Jason on Howard 101. Even we can't believe Tim Sabian signed off on this shit. This is Back Office Radio with Will and Jason on Howard 101.
Welcome back to the show. It's Jason Kaplan, Will Murray, Teddy Knitter, and Al Ragone, who during the commercial break was telling us this story about how he saw JD eat like a retarded person at I don't want to walk into a Joe Flacco controversy.
Be careful.
Yeah. By the way, I don't like Joe Flacco, but that is such a non-controversy controversy.
Well, he said it was retarded at the Super Bowl in Jersey.
And then he immediately retracted. He goes, I heard the clip. He said, it's retarded to have the Super Bowl in New Jersey. Hey, you know what? That wasn't the right word to use. I apologize. It's stupid. So he immediately corrected himself, and then the fucking New York Post puts him on the front.
Stupid people got offended.
Yeah. And by the way, the New York Post has no problem putting the word retarded across their entire back section for the city to see.
You just look for anything.
Sorry, I am worked up today, as you can tell. I have Wendy sweats and burps.
Ugh. The fucking cow's trying to get out of your stomach right now, I think. Making noise.
No, Al, I want to eat the cow. What's it sound like when I eat a cow?
Oh, yeah, so good. You know what the best part of that laugh is? It's not a real laugh. It's just that laugh I want to piss you the fuck off with whatever. Exactly, there it is.
Speaking of my laugh, hey, you can give us a call, 888-STERN-101. That's 888-783-7610. Chad in Massachusetts. Welcome to Back Office Radio.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
What's up, bro?
What up?
Not too much, man. Jay, oh my God. I actually play with a guy I play golf with this guy. I miss a butt.
It fucks you up, right?
No, it fucks me all up.
Yeah, I have an evil laugh. What can you say? I'm like a fully formed villain. I have a laugh. I have a look with my blazer. I have a role of being a snitch and a weasel. You know,
and the laugh to match. Definitely.
What can I do? I'm sure the comic book is not far away. So I noticed a lot of block party talk on both Howard's show and this show and the wrap-up show, and basically anytime Shuli can get near an open mic. And so we were part of us is like, should we talk more block party? But we were all there. And before we get into the crappy stuff, we had a great time. I mean,
it was a lot of fun.
A great time. It was the first time since one of the Las Vegas shows where almost all of us were out doing an event together. We were staying at Harrah's in Atlantic City, which had a huge casino and a lot of great places to eat. And we were sitting there, and it was like being at a Howard Stern convention. I mean, fans were just coming by all day. And I have to say, the fans were awesome. I mean, they were just awesome. Everyone was nice. Everyone wanted to take pictures. You start to think that everyone's like these assholes on Twitter and the news groups, and they're just, vile, bitter, hateful people. And then when you meet them in person, it's really cool.
They're the same people. They're just way nicer to you, to your face.
Yeah. So that was great. The show, was huge. I mean, the actual block party itself.
I couldn't believe it.
Was just the state. And by the way, there's pictures of this on howardstern.com. If you want to go there, we have pictures from the block party. You can see the stage. You can see all the guys from the show walking out on the block party. Will and I got to walk out, which we'll get some audio of that coming up.
1,200 people to hear Ronnie scream.
Yeah, I know. It is crazy.
It is quite a scream.
But a couple things. So I'm just going to kind of go in order of the way the events worked. We got down there, and the first thing we had to do was play in a poker tournament. It was a real poker tournament that people had to do a $250 buy-in, and then they peppered us Stern people all throughout the
different tables. Yeah.
And Will and I were at the same table.
You, me, and Shuley.
Yeah, and it was nice. And
I've never played poker though before, and it showed.
How'd you do?
I mean, the thing with poker is if you want to be really conservative, you just fold until you have a really good hand, and then you gamble, you bet a little bit. So I did that for a while, and then at some point I said, okay, I kind of figured this out, and then I just got knocked out.
Now, Shuley's really good. How long did he last?
He lasted a while.
Yeah,
but Jason was literally the first person kicked out of the tournament.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Let's go back to Will for a second, because Will was really bad at poker, even though he lasted longer than me. I was sitting there watching him play after I got kicked out, and he's betting a hand. Betting. Then he turns his cards over and realizes he totally forgot what cards he had down.
Yeah.
I was doing that too a little bit.
What's wrong with you guys?
I lasted 4.5 hours, and then I didn't get any money.
I lost. I was the first one out, but I was out with a full house.
Full house.
A full house. And
both you and the guy that beat you had a full house.
He had a better full house than he had the one hand that could beat me. Pocket queens, which means he got dealt 2 queens. There was a queen showing on the table, and I had a queen. The odds of him having pocket queens in that hand was ridiculously small. And I have to say, all the people there, all the real poker players there came up to me and they were just like, dude, you did nothing wrong. We would have made the same decision. Sometimes that's just the way it rolls. So it's embarrassing to be the first person out. But, hey, I went out fucking hitting a home run. It just, someone hit a better home run.
The guys that really lasted were Richie Wilson, I think was in like the top 20, and Richard, who's like never played poker.
Right.
He ended up in the top 10. He went home with $1,000.
Yeah, $1,300.
And he literally had no idea what he was doing. At one point, I think he had like a 2 in his hand, and I don't even know the fucking terminology for this shit, but he had a 2, and on the last card they flipped over was a 2, and he won on I think it was 3 2s or 2 2s.
Wow.
And then at one point he had 4 8s, and he goes, did I win?
Did I do good?
Is that good hand?
The top 3 were me, Richie, and Richard.
Oh, you went pretty far too, right?
Yeah.
And you know who hated the fact that Richard kept playing so much? The Howard TV guys, because they had to sit there and cover him all the way to the last table.
Yeah, he played till like 7 at night
and
or something.
I got kicked out first, but I didn't leave right away. I hung until Will was kicked out, JD, John Hine. I waited till a bunch of people had been kicked out, and then we left. We went out and had lunch.
Of course.
I went up to the room and took a nap.
Of course.
I showered. I came back downstairs, and I go, hey, where's Rob Martin? And they're like, oh, he's still upstairs filming Richard. I'm like, Jesus. I mean, that is.
They had a long day.
They had a long day.
Fun job. Do you, by nap, did you go up and masturbate with hotel lotion?
I did not. I did not masturbate on this trip.
Just checking.
No?
I did not. You know what? One of the reasons why I just wanted to take a nap. I didn't need help going to sleep. And then when we went up to our room later in the night, I was also gone. But I heard somebody masturbated.
Well, listen, when you get a hotel room by yourself, you're not going to let that go to waste.
Well, it wasn't John Hine, so who was it?
Will Murray.
It was me, buddy.
Oh, hey, buddy. Oh.
We go out to the club later that night, and you saw JD dancing on stage.
Did you seagull a chick?
With those girls. That's what I should have done. That would have been nice.
Am I out of it? What's seagull in a chick?
You put your hand in your hand and you throw it out. Yeah.
But the girls that were dancing on that stage, all the married guys were just sitting up there and just ogling them.
Yeah, holding their shoes. Ronnie had a good point. Yeah. They were. They're leaning over the barrier that they can't get over.
The girl was a 10, and the way she could move her ass was like nothing I'd ever seen before.
Yeah, you like
so
that.
I just used that image to my advantage the next morning.
Mm.
Hey, Teddy, I just tweeted out a picture of Will Murray holding a fork like JD on Howard Stern.
I'm doing my best JD impression.
On @Stern Show. Yeah, but then I realized that you sent me 2 pictures, and the
There's
picture
2 of them.
Wait, the picture I tweeted out, yeah, you're making a face, Will. I didn't realize that there was one where
he's got
you
a real
weren't making a
droopy face.
That's my JD face.
Okay, that's his JD
That's a
face.
joke.
Go check
Apparently
it out.
Didn't work
Send
very
both.
Well.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know. Well, so far, right now, it's not even tweeting. Maybe it's too big of a picture. I don't know. We'll get to it.
So we played poker.
Yeah.
You came back for your nap.
Yeah.
And then the block party basically started, right?
And
I gambled. One thing I want to throw in there before you get to that is, so in the afternoon, I went and gambled with John Hine and JD, and they were playing blackjack. And JD, he complains a lot about not having money. We were at a $25 minimum table, and JD was playing for $75 a hand.
What?
Blackjack.
Wow.
Yeah,
Whoa.
like a true hot shot.
And how'd he do?
Awful. He lost all his money and he was done in 10 minutes.
That either means you want to win big or you want to just leave early. You know?
I don't know what he
wanted to win. Because he put on a tweet like, I can't believe I
think
lost
he was really trying to
He
impress
went back
John
up to
Hine.
his room and took artsy pictures of his leftover chips, and I made fun of him.
So before we even got to the block party, though, we're at this burger place, all of us pretty much at the casino, all having a great time except Scott Salem, who sat there like an absolute lump that he is, looking miserable, not wanting to like talk to the fans. I mean, I happen to love that sort of thing. Because if I didn't work on this show, I would have been at this block party. I would have been one of those people at the block party. So, whenever a fan comes up and approaches me and they're nice, I can't ever turn that away. And so I love that stuff. I love taking the pictures. I love being recognized. I do. I love the whole
It's very cool.
deal.
Like you said, as all of us, as Howard Stern fans, it's cool when people are like, wow, you're on the Howard Stern show. Yeah, we appreciate that we're on the show. It's
Jason,
awesome.
Did you hear that, Shuli, we were all backstage, but so they're trying to get the show started and the people aren't in their seats. And they're like, what the fuck's going on? Sour Shoes had his keyboard set up in the hallway right by the doors to the theater, and he's put on a show, and nobody's going into the theater because they're all stopping and sitting there watching Sour Shoes just perform, randomly. Oh, who invited you?
How'd you get down here? You haven't left yet?
Jason invited me.
Oh, hey, what's up? How you doing?
Mr.
Called me a
COPD.
Listen, I was having a great dinner with Michael Fox. Come on.
Is this at the place where you demanded
You would be
a
in a
table?
bad mood if you had to have dinner with Michael Fox.
It wasn't good dinner company?
No, he was fine. Listen, I didn't do any of that shit that everybody said. First of all, we got there where it was like 6 people, and they said, we get a table. I was all of a sudden in charge of getting a table.
Scott, it's fine. I didn't even bring up those stuff that was talked about on the Stern show about how you supposedly complained about being in line and told the waitress, "Do you know who I am?" and went up to fans and asked them if they would get up and give up their tables for you. I wasn't going to say any of that.
Never did that.
I'm just telling you what I saw, and what I saw was you sitting there looking absolutely miserable and talking to nobody.
Well, it's funny because there was a whole group of us, and most of us got to sit at the bar at the restaurant.
Right.
But Scott was stuck at a
You
table.
know why?
He didn't want to.
No, you know why? Because I put my name in for a table, and the waitress said, you got to get online if you got your name on there. So I got online, and while I got online, everybody else went over to the bar.
So that's what you're pissed off about, right?
That's number one, because nobody knew what the fuck they were doing. They told me to get a table.
But that's the problem, man. That's why I hate doing things in groups with large people because, it's always a pain. You got to wait on everybody else.
And then while everybody was at the bar, and then a bar table opened up, and I just said, all right, I'm just going to sit here and eat because what the fuck? Nobody gives a shit.
I was at the Mexican place. It was delicious.
I'm sure.
Well, Scott, as long as you're
Scott was
here,
like,
we'll just go to all your notes.
I miss DJ Hollywood.
I don't want to turn into, the wrap-up show here. They kind of went over all of this, but, you walked out, you got no applause at all, and obviously that was a setup, although quite frankly, I told Shuli he was wasting his time. I think you would have gotten no applause even if they didn't tell everybody to do that.
Oh.
And, and then you get out there and you don't really do anything. I mean, right? Am I speaking out of school here?
I was doing what they wanted me to do.
No.
First of all,
what did they want you to do?
First of all, they said, all right, you'll come out and you'll plug in your phone and you'll do the sound effects like you used to do. That didn't happen. We did a sound check and make sure everything was all hooked up.
It's such a classic bit, too. I don't get it.
Yeah, second of all, they wanted me to read the fucking Ronnie poem, which I started to read.
Oh, yeah, that was funny.
That wasn't my bit.
Hasn't that thing been beaten to death?
Yeah, really.
We get it. Ronnie writes shitty poems.
And Sal and Richard were molesting me. So
that was really funny.
That was actually good.
Yeah. Well, right. When other people tried to fuck with you,
I went with the flow. Did you hear me? I mean, and
I heard you complain a lot.
the douchebag. If you would have succeeded in doing what you were trying to do, and I would have gotten hurt.
What was that? I don't remember
noticed
that.
it. I was untying the shoelaces. I was trying to tie
He was trying to tie my shoelaces together. I wanted to step on his fingers.
Who knew Jason could bend over?
I wanted to step on his fingers. But I mean, really? Is that really smart?
I didn't do it, Scott, did I? Yeah, okay. Donnie in Texas, welcome to Back Office Radio.
Hey.
Whoa. Well, you have a rap about Scott?
How's it going?
How you going? Hey, Scott needs to get out of there. Hey, who invited Tracy, man? I mean, Tracy should not have been at that dinner party.
Bullshit.
Oh, fuck that, man. She's a huge part of our office.
Yeah,
She's
forget it.
awesome, and we love hanging with her.
I love hanging.
For all those reasons and more, Tracy
That's
should
my
have
girl.
absolutely been at
Don't
that
fuck
dinner.
with Tracy.
Yeah.
I'll come through this phone and beat you up.
So, Scott, all right, I mean, do you have
Easy,
anything
Ronnie.
else you want to
No,
say?
I
We're
could
not,
leave.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
kidding.
Yeah, we're not trying to recreate the
beat
wrap-up
anyone.
show here. Yeah. So anyway, so that was Scott. You can see the energy he brings into
Bye,
a room.
Scott.
Almost as good as the
Thanks
Scott
for
as
coming
the
down.
block party
Oh, I
appearance.
feel
By the way,
bad.
let's give Scott some credit. Why is he here at 4 o'clock in the afternoon?
know.
That's crazy. Good for him.
I think he's been ordered to work 9 to 5.
But Scott brings up a great point, and I love Shuli, and I'm happy for all the guys at the block party, but the block party was probably the worst part of the trip. Like, I mean, not that it was bad, and it was a bad time, but I had way more fun at the poker tournament. I had way more fun just sitting at the restaurant in Harrah's and having just people come up and meet us and greet us and all that fun stuff.
And we had the best time gambling.
And then we'll get to that coming up. But the block party is a hot mess. It's just literally, they don't put any thought into what anybody does except for the comedian. Shuli's a comedian and has an act. They had a couple other comedians that had an act. But they just pull people out. They told us 15 minutes before, hey, would you guys go out on stage if we introduced you on Back Office Radio? Now, within that 10 minutes, Will and I huddled in the fucking corner and we're like, what should we do? And I'm like, maybe I'll try and do something Back Office Radio. Like, I'll talk about what's going on in the green room and all the chicks that I'm fucking drooling over right now. And Will's like, I got a Howard joke and I got a this joke. And, and
in their defense, though, they had to tell us 10 minutes before, because if they had told us any earlier, then we would have realized we were doing exactly what everybody else was getting paid to do.
Right.
And then we would have been pissed off about it.
Richard and Sal were on stage as long as you and I were.
Absolutely.
And somehow they got
did
paid
less
for it.
comedy.
But you know what? Again, we were already there, and
Not
maybe,
a problem.
I love Shuli, I love Ronnie, I love JD. If we could help out the show once we're there.
You love
help
Blue
out.
Meat?
I love Blue Meat. But again, no one put a gun to our head. They didn't say we had to go out on stage, but clearly they wanted us to. Afterwards, they asked us if we would go do the meet and greet. Again, that's something people get paid for. I gladly went and did it. I love meeting
Cool
the
to meet
fans.
the fans.
But again, it's just like they ended up getting everything they wanted for free. They got us down there. They got us talking about it. They got us on stage to be part of the show, to add to the show. And then they got us to do the meet and greet. And again, that was fine, but that was once. That's it.
The one
That's
time.
it. That was the one time for free. And, and it's I don't even want to pull a Lisa G thing. We have to, I will meet fans for free. I don't give a shit, but I'm not going to be the one asshole not getting paid either.
There was a scary moment, too, when they started pulling out everybody who was there, and they pulled out Rachel Fine and Richie. And I mean, it was like, I love them. They're fun as hell to hang out with, but they had nothing to say, or did they have an act?
They shouldn't have even put them out on stage.
And it felt terrible for them, because they come out, and then they hand them the mic, and then they didn't really say anything, and then the people just turned, and then, of course, they started screaming that they wanted to see her boobs and everything, and it was just out of control.
I would pay for that, by the way.
Well,
I would pay for that too, but
I felt for them. And then I got real nervous about us. I'm like, well, fuck,
and then,
what are we gonna
and then
do?
for some reason, who brought Elaine out? I mean, Elaine's great, but
Sal and
clearly-
Richard brought
yeah,
them.
they bring her out. She wasn't getting paid, and so they just told her, like, sing some opera, and she hadn't prepared anything, and so she starts singing, and it kind of didn't go over well. Again, not her fault. I blame whoever puts this show together. JD and Ronnie have no act. Literally, all people want to do is see JD laugh. If he just stood on stage and laughed, people would pay money for it. So they seem to know that, and so they don't prepare anything.
I thought he was hilarious when the show opened, the music's kicking, everything. Pops off. JD comes out and just doesn't say anything. And
this is what JD walks out to. It's the fucking best. Ladies and gentlemen, at the block party, the one, the only, Mumble Mouth from the Howard Stern Show, JD Harmon!
What's up, guys?
We love you, JD!
Oh, well, yeah.
He just go, calm down.
Calm down, everybody.
Calm down. Okay, calm down.
Yeah, here's Ronnie Run.
I know,
I
Ronnie
thought he
Run.
was great.
Exactly.
I'm Ronnie.
I'm a party animal.
I'm going to walk off stage and sit in someone's seat. Woo! I'm a wild man. They have no act. They have nothing. And what they're basically doing is asking people to pay to stare at Ronnie and JD. And, again, I know a show is built around that, but Jesus Christ, you've been doing this for a fucking year. Put a thought into it.
One thought.
One piece of effort, besides Ronnie reading a poem. Or JD reading Ronnie's poem, which is even worse.
Too much pressure. And that's the worst thing. We go out there.
Yeah, we want to entertain.
And not only can they not shut up, they sit there and start shitting on us.
So
we're doing them the favor.
We're going to play some of the audio. Yeah, we thought JD didn't hang out on stage for everybody. He hangs out on stage for us. He starts shitting all over everything we're saying. Teddy was the best, though, because Teddy goes, guys, I don't want to talk. I don't want to say anything.
Yeah, I was nervous.
It's all you two. It's all you two. And within 10 seconds, you grab the microphone.
It's kind of like this show.
Anyway, so here's a little bit of what you missed from us. And by the way, I don't think we come off great in this clip at all.
No,
but this is what we did.
the best line of the day.
Yeah.
From Back Office Radio, Jason Kaplan.
Fucking people pay money to be here for this. Here's the deal. I think Howard's been asleep for 2 hours already, and this is literally the nightmare he's having right now. I like that line.
Yeah, you're talking.
No.
Yeah, go ahead.
By the way,
Go ahead with your
T-shirt contest coming up. This guy and this guy. That's What do you JD think? and Jason I'm Who's pointing got the to. better tits?
Nothing better to see a little mom on stage. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
By the way, lucky crowd. Thank you. Everyone has been so nice since we've been here. I've met almost half of you in the crowd. You're awesome. I'd like to thank you for putting up with John Hine and his mom jeans and his Shin Michigan sweatshirt.
He is such a schlub. It's the best. He doesn't give a shit.
Pictures on howardstern.com.
You can do laughs and will not. That's crazy.
Fuck you.
So I've been making some observations backstage I'd like to share with you. Literally, I want to fuck.
Boo it. Fuck you. Really? Fuck off. I'm here staring at JD for Christ's sake.
I literally want to have sex with everybody's girlfriend and wife that's here. And I'm
with John Polaris.
John Polaris. Erica.
It's like a playground. Fuck Erica.
Hell yeah.
Hi, thank you, everybody.
I didn't name everyone I want that sex with.
That's right, people. $50 a ticket for this.
Right, there's my Captain Back Office Radio, everybody. Back Office Radio.
Thank you very much. Johnny, I like that sex with you. Rachel Fine.
Anyone? Will anyone have sex?
Al, can you rewind to the the last 15 seconds of that clip? While you cue that up, I defy anyone to tell me what JD's saying. Okay. Anybody, if you can decipher what JD's saying. Everybody's girlfriend and wife is here. And I'm
with John Polaris.
John Polaris. Erica.
We all want to fuck Erica.
Hell yeah.
Hi, thank you, everybody.
I didn't name everyone I want that sex with.
How'd you like that? Is that great?
Jesus Christ.
There's my Captain Back Office Radio, everybody. Back Office Radio.
Thank you very much. Johnny, I like that sex with you.
Jason.
Rachel Fine. What is that? What the hell did he say? Jason in Washington, D.C., welcome to Back Office Radio.
Hey guys, so I can't believe that Howard still allows Shuli to talk about this show. He's taking advantage of everybody, and Scott, the engineer, pointed it out, and then Shuli just railroaded over him. Shuli has no show without Ronnie, and has no show without Scott. I've seen Shuli's act before. He tells a joke. His big joke is a story that he's told on the air.
All right, I'm bored with your call. Here's the deal. Sorry for hanging up on you. Actually, not really. No. Shuli's funny. I don't care what anybody says.
Guy.
Maybe you don't think he's incredibly funny. I mean, everyone's opinion is their own, but Shuli is. He's accomplished on stage. He has stage presence. He has an act that he can do. He's not just some dude off the street.
And he had Jimmy Florentine. Awesome job. I mean,
and Daniel
there is some good parts. Really good parts.
But Shuli gets it. You know, a comedian is not going to fill a 1,200 seat auditorium like that if he hasn't been on television, if he doesn't have any kind of credibility in the comedy world. I mean, there's a lot of comics out there at Shuli's level, and it's hard to have a name for yourself. So, of course, that's why he brings in the guys from the Stern Show.
Absolutely. Coming up, we're going to talk about the after party at the club and JD losing his fucking mind. And I'm going to talk about something that happened backstage before the show that really had me pissed off and thinking that this almost is a ripoff for the fans. You'll hear what that is next on Howard 101.
You're listening to Back Office Radio with Will and Jason on Howard 101. Creating office anxiety since 2012. Back Office Radio with Will and Jason.
Teddy just suggested we have a beer, and I was like,
things down.
If I had a beer, I'd fall asleep right now. I know I'm all hyped up on the air. I am so tired.
Teddy will have a beer when he does anything.
And what's wrong with that?
Welcome back
Got
to
a
back.
problem with that?
No, I guess it's
right.
the baseball that comes with
used
it.
to be that way, dickhead.
Now I'm a father.
Exactly.
Welcome back to Back Office Radio, only on Howard 101. If you'd like to give us a call, 888-STERN-101. That's 888-783-7610. We're talking about the block party, so if you were there, you want to talk about it, if you've ever been to a block party before, if you have any comment of any kind on that or Benji or anything, let us know. I'm going to take some phone calls here. Andy in New Jersey, welcome to Back Office Radio.
Hey guys, Will, I don't know if you remember me. I was the one that you told me to go over and take some pictures of JD and make it look like he was a superstar.
Oh, it's at the nightclub you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, when he was on stage with all the girls?
Yeah, and if you want to give me your email, I have some video of that girl with this mini skirt. If you want to keep it in your spank thing for later.
Oh God, dude.
Gross.
On a scale from 1 to 10, what was that? Like, she was an 11, right?
No, she was a late night at AC 11.
She was an 11 because you were drunk and it was 11.
And married too long.
Rick in Iowa, welcome to Back Office Radio.
Hey, what's going on, Jason?
What's up, bro?
Well, I'd really like this show. This is the first show that I found that I can stomach you, Jason. And I got another
Literally.
comic. I got another thing. I used to go see John when he had the Stuttering John review, you know, he'd do the same thing that Shuli's doing.
Right.
And you guys need to just kill the block party and organize a thing where all you guys share in. Because Shuli, the block party raked in over $50,000.
Well, I don't know about that. Look, those guys are making money. I mean, I'm not going to try and step in on them making money. I mean, they're going out. They're putting on a show. People are paying to see it. I think it's what they do is way better than the Lisa G meet and greet where people would just had to pay $100 to stare at her. So, you know, it was something I would go to as a fan. Howard doesn't take the show out on the road that much anymore, and quite frankly, I think that's why they get such a response. It's cool. If I did not work on this show, I would be at that block party, and I would have had a great time, and I would have left not feeling like I had wasted my money. My fault with it as an employee here and as somebody who cares about the fans is that I think that they don't put enough thought, time, and energy into what they do, and that their show could be so much better if they actually took it seriously. And I teased coming back from the break something that I thought was complete bullshit. Backstage, before the show, every single one of those motherfuckers, except Ronnie and JD, I will give them credit, were either drunk or high or both. Sal and Richard were drunk before they went out on stage.
Well, they didn't give a shit. I mean, that's part of the
Scott Salem was inebriated before he went out on stage. Was Shuli drunk? I don't even know.
No, I don't think he's a big drinker.
No. He's,
just
professional.
Nobody takes it seriously. It's, I know. Well, so Sal and Richard were paid to be there. They're paid to be performers. And you know what? Go out and do something other than just fucking taking your clothes off.
They got
naked. Yeah. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It rubbed me the wrong way before the show started to watch everyone drink and
Slash would
smoke.
drink a fifth of vodka before you go out.
Yeah, well, it's rock and roll, man.
No one on that show can play the guitar like Slash. I just found it insulting to the audience personally, and I would never do that. I wouldn't go out on stage high. I know I'm a retard when I'm high, and I wouldn't make any sense. Now, I smoke on stage if that's what people wanted to see.
So smoking's okay.
If that's what the people want.
You wouldn't go out high, but you'd get high on stage.
High. I get high at the meet and greet afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's what I think about that. We also so we were at the after party, which was at the pool at Harris, which is their nightclub.
It was like an ultra kind of swanky, hip spot to be in, right? They're doing their best Vegas impression with that place.
And it was kind of cool because they had the stage set up and we were all roped off next to the stage and people, they had girls up on the stage dancing. They had a DJ.
Well, you know how that happened, by the way?
No, I have no idea.
So JD saw this hot chick in the behind the, whatever you call
the
it.
crowd.
The line,
behind the
barricade.
Yeah, behind the star line.
And he's
we're
like,
all stars.
I love that girl. That girl's so beautiful. And I said, dude, let's go over and bring her over here. I mean, we have the access. This is supposed to be our spot.
Right.
So we said, can we grab this girl in? And one of the guys was like, yeah, grab a whole group of girls. And they all came up and started dancing on the stage in front of the DJ. And
with
right
JD.
there, with JD. I'm like, JD, how do you not get laid in this situation?
Well, he figured out a way because he didn't get laid at the end of the night. I grilled him about
However,
it.
he was, to his credit, he was up there for 2.5 hours.
Dude,
straight
it was
dancing.
ridiculous.
I mean, I was impressed.
It's the most exercise you've had in a year.
I'd never dance at anything, and not to mention that long. Amazing. I was proud of it.
It was ridiculous, and as Will was saying earlier, there was a girl up there on stage that was very hot, that was wearing this tiny little dress that when you were standing, next to the stage, which was, about 3 or 4 feet down, if you looked up, you just saw her panties. You
didn't have to look up.
Yeah, right.
They were just out. She was a professional ass wiggler. It was unbelievable.
You saw what she had for lunch.
At one point, she put her ass in my face, and then she put her head down between her knees, and she took her finger and took it from her asshole down to the
All right,
front.
I'll fess up. I paid for her.
What do you mean?
I bought her. I had her come.
Shut up. You know that kind of fucking money.
No, but you know, in Teddy's credit, there was little to no free alcohol back there for us, which Sequoia warned us about in that wonderful email he sent out going, hey guys, when the beer's gone, the beer's gone. But so Teddy very generously bought bottle service for us, and it was expensive, and thank you, because
it's all right, baby. I won all of it back.
That's right.
You won before that, right?
I won the night before. I won 400. And then I won another 1,100 the next
3 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning, me, Will, you, Teddy, John Hine, and Ben Bardo all left to go find a table game to play. And we ended up commandeering half of a craps table. And my God, we were on a streak out of a fucking movie.
It was a beautiful thing.
Thank God.
What do you call it when you point? Is that every time you throw the dice successfully?
You make point.
You make a point.
Make your point. Yeah.
And so all of us were making points. No one crapped out right away. Will made 6 points.
It went. Who threw? You went.
I went. I did a couple. I did 5 or 6.
I had a few. It went
you
around.
had a few. Then Jason goes, and of course, the table gets way gayer.
Oh,
Jason
that's right.
starts throwing the dice.
Well, I have my system. The way I throw it, I pick up the dice or leave it on the table. This place made me leave the dice on the table, but I flick my wrist in a very femme way, and I go 1, 2, 3, fun! And then on fun, of course, is where the dice go tumbling. But I was rolling well. And so by the third roll, everybody at the table was doing it. Everybody was going 1.
For some reason, it worked.
2, 3, fun! Yeah. Meanwhile, you guys were all shouting out people's names that I really had no idea what was going on. Like John kept shouting, Reggie. Yeah. And somebody shouted out Bird. I thought you were singing Bird.
I was singing Bird, but we were talking about Larry Bird. We wanted 33.
People kept shouting Jordan. I just assumed that's because Jordan's really, really excellent, so they wanted us to be excellent.
We wanted 23.
Somebody yelled.
Of course that's what you thought, Jason.
Somebody, he kept yelling Mariano Rivera. And again, I thought that had to do with pitching, so throwing the dice. I thought that's...
Of course.
Was there numbers?
Yeah, we wanted...
I didn't realize.
You
6. We wanted a 4 and a 2.
So, we all did well.
No, I did the best out of the group of us. I think I made the point like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
No,
you
were
the best
more
roller
maybe
and
6.
The cheapest gambler.
Well, I had no money left. The problem was, I was down $400 going into that table, and I said, fuck it, I started at that table with $10.
Yeah, no, that's impressive.
$10.
That's impressive.
But the dice ends up with a guy across the table we don't know, which is fine. He rolled, what would you say, about 40, 45 minutes?
45 minutes.
I mean, everybody was making money. It was like out of a fucking movie. It was just crazy.
Yeah.
I tell you, have you ever seen anything like that?
I filled up the bar, like the chip holder in front of me. I filled it up. I was like,
this guy could not miss.
Every time he'd make point, we'd high five.
Yeah.
And the next morning I woke up with very sore wrists, and I think it was from the power high fiving.
Shut up. Is that true?
Yeah, that's my gay fucking revelation of the day. It's really bad. I know. Yeah. But like you said, started with $10.
Yeah, and walked away with
$450.
Yeah, that's incredible.
I owed John Hine $200, paid him right off the table because I don't want to owe that piece of shit anything. But Teddy, not piece of shit, he's a great guy.
Teddy, you're a very, very, very generous guy. But
thank you.
But you want how much at craps?
Total for the weekend?
No,
over a G at that table.
Yeah, 1,100 at that
11
table.
Right.
Oh, I threw a 5, I know.
That was bad, dude.
How much did you throw?
Huh?
How much did you throw?
I think I gave him $20.
Yeah, I threw that.
Really?
I
never thought you had to spend that much. I thought I see.
You just won $1,000 for nothing.
And I tipped the fucking thrower, not the fucking dealer. If anything.
No, at a craps table, I found this out the next day.
I don't know the etiquette at all.
A lot of work on that craps table.
Yeah, I know it is, but they're getting paid.
And they were. Well, apparently they don't get paid that much. They're almost like on a waiter system there. Like they get paid like $6 an hour.
Shit. What do you want me to do next time? Next time I'll triple it.
But you know the guy called you by name when you were walking away.
Oh fuck! Really?
He goes, thanks, Teddy.
Oh shit, dude! By the way, I was blackout drunk. It was 4 o'clock in the morning.
It was rough. John Hine, I think, walked away. By the way, with $1,400.
Yeah, he cleaned up. You know why? He was sober.
John.
Yeah, he was high on Diet Coke. What are you talking about?
No, I'm sorry, dealer. Shit, I'm really sorry.
No, I know. You know, we all said, I said there's no way Teddy realized what he did.
I totally
because
didn't. Oh, man.
You are a
now
generous guy.
I'm going to drive down there tomorrow.
Well, you don't remember who it was.
He doesn't have to work or anything. It's fine.
All right, enough. Let's get back to the regular back office radio. You ready to do a few page 69s here?
Absolutely.
All right.
Page 69.
All right, Will, this is all you.
Well, why don't we start with the first one? This is an audio, page 69.
Ooh.
So I guess Shuli approached Gary about getting access to our coveted bathroom.
Why?
Well, play the clip first.
Yeah.
This might not be the right timing for this, but I talked to him the other day about getting access to this bathroom.
No.
No?
Are you serious?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. I have to find out.
So you say no and you don't have a reason?
You caught me off guard. We're not adding people.
Okay.
But I'm not saying no.
All right. Well, you did.
No.
You're not adding people, so no.
You caught me off guard.
Okay.
What?
For me, this is why Gary doesn't really command respect in the office.
It's got to be a joke.
No, he's the boss. Shuli says, I want access to the bathroom. I don't even know why. I don't know why he deserves access. It's not like he's back there and has to hear the show. Gary says no. That should be end of conversation.
Yeah.
Instead, you hear Shuli go on and on about, why? What are you talking about?
Well, Gary
asshole?
really likes likes Shuli, so I'm surprised.
Everyone likes Shuli, but there's no reason for him to be using that bathroom. Right?
I don't want to go near that bathroom. I'm glad I'm not on the list.
Of course.
What's so funny about this was that Shuli came to us to give us this story.
Like what
on
a
the page
dick
69.
Gary's being.
Framing it as a dick, Gary being a dick. And the way he told the story, Gary did sound like a dick. And then we listened to the audio.
He wasn't a dick at all.
No, Shuli went up to the executive producer of the Howard Stern Show in the middle of the show. You could hear it playing in the background. Throws something out there. Gary's first reaction is to say no. And then he actually, like the nice guy he is, said, actually, let me think about it and look into it. And Shuli just laughs at him and has been like, oh, so it was no, and now you have to think about it. And
Gary said no. That's the end of the conversation. That's what I would say. I'd say, no, fuck off.
I really thought this was like a comedy bit or something. I just don't know, because Shuli, I don't know why. We'll find out someday, but would never use that bathroom even if I had access.
Well, he wants to shit in private like everyone else around here.
God forbid something happens. I don't want to ever, if I'm not ever in that bathroom, then I can never be pinned on something that happens in that bathroom.
It's not about the bathroom at this point. It's about Shuli asking Gary for something like this in the middle of the show. Shuli not respecting when Gary says no. People just don't respect. Gary says no. Richard Christie's the same way. You know, so Gary will be like, you know what, this clip isn't very funny. Well, Sal thought it was funny. Yeah, but I don't think it's funny. Well, maybe if you play it for Howard, he'll think it's funny. It's like, Gary's got to turn around one day and just go, God, I'm the fucking producer of the show. Get the fuck out of my office.
Yeah.
Let's get him a taser.
Put me in charge.
So that was the first one. What do you got, Jason?
Well, I heard you say this in the office today, and I actually didn't know if it was true or not, so I wanted to use it as my page 69. Is Scott DePace no longer talking to you?
He did not talk to me this entire week.
Oh, no.
And I believe it's because he's upset about what I said about him last week.
Oof.
And I don't even think I said anything that bad.
You didn't say anything bad at all.
Look, thank God it's not golf season.
Yeah, right.
Teddy, keep your comments to yourself.
One final thing on Scott. Hopefully it gets me on his better side again.
Why do you care?
Because he's a friend of mine. He does work incredibly hard when he's here. And he's very good at his job. Would you agree with that?
I would agree.
You hate
with
him,
that.
but
no, I agree with that. He's a hard worker when he's here.
Right, and he is very good at his job.
He is,
and I would imagine he would have no problem getting a job directing after.
You're such a good beaten wife.
It is. That's part of that. But you know what? I'm going to tell the truth on that one. So,
All right. Well, we have a special guest on the phone right now, cutting into page 69. No, not coming up. We're going to take this right now because we're not going to spend that much time on it. Benji Bronk, welcome to Back Office Radio.
Hey, thank you. Thank you very much. Hey, Teddy?
Yo! Hi, Benj.
Hey, man. You've never been in the bathroom back there?
I don't have access.
I'll take you.
I'll tell you what. You know what?
Here comes the vortex.
No.
I'll tell you what. Benji, I'm putting you back on hold for a second. When we come back,
it's gross.
We always do our airing of the grievances. I'm assuming Benji's on the phone to air a grievance.
Good call.
So when we come back, we will talk to Benji about whatever he has to say. We'll wrap up the show, and that's it. 888-101. You're listening to Back Office Radio only on Howard 101.
This is Back Office Radio with Will and Jason on Howard 101. Attempting to keep Shuli off Howard 101 for at least 2 hours each week. Back Office Radio with Will and Jason on Howard 101.
Welcome back to Back Office Radio, only on Howard 101. It's I started the show by saying I'm full of hate, and I think I spewed out most of it during the show because I'm exhausted now.
I was going to say, you look full.
We do have Benji Brock on the phone, and what we like to do towards the end of the show is let anybody who has a grievance with anything we say come down here. So I'm putting a call out there now of anyone in the office or anyone who wants to call in, had a grievance with anything we said about them, call in now or come in now, and let's air it out. Before we get to Benji, though, Douche in Toronto, welcome to Back Office Radio.
Hey, Jason. Hey, love your show, by the way. I think you guys are the best show on 101, period.
101.
101, sorry.
Thank you.
My only comment is Tim Sabian. I know I listened to Howard kiss his butt this week, and I was like, Tim Sabian has done diddly squat in the last 6 months. You guys lose Bubba, and then Pharrell, we've known, I think, was going to leave, I think, 3-4 months ago, and yet there's no real replacement. Your show is the best show. I'd rather have your show on from 8 to
Well,
11.
buddy, thank you for the compliments, but who do you think put our show on?
Yeah,
Tim
hello.
Sabian.
Yoo-hoo.
Hello, yoo-hoo.
Yeah, you hoser.
No, Tim does a fucking
He does
amazing
a lot
job
that a
here.
lot of people don't see.
He does an
It's a lot of
amazing job
behind-the-scenes
here,
stuff.
and I don't think anyone's crying over everybody that we lost, even though we like them. I think Tim does an amazing job, and I'm not just saying that because he's my boss. I'm saying that because he writes my paychecks. And I think
He's the greatest boss.
He's
right?
the greatest guy, and quite frankly, this show would not be on the air unless he believed in us.
I love
mean,
him.
flat out, end of the story. We pitched the show to Tim, and he wasn't buying into it right away, and he said, "I trust you and Jason, you and Will. I'm sorry, to do this show. Go ahead and do it." He was nervous. He heard it. He loved it, and to his credit, he's championed it, and he's the reason you're listening to this show right now. Okay, Benji, we're going to you. I would assume that you're here to air some grievance, so let's go at it.
I don't have a grievance, but that is a great idea to have at the end of the show, and I think the main show should do that also. I love that.
Thank you.
But I also love, this is the first time I've really heard extensively Back Office Radio, and it's really good.
Thank you.
Very, like, a lot of good elements, very funny, and
I'm waiting for the other lifted shoe to drop.
What's that?
I said I'm waiting for the other lifted shoe to drop.
The other lift shoe?
Is there a butt to this, or do you just want to call in and say we're doing the good show? And thank you.
No, I wanted to thank you for naming me Douche of the Week.
In fact, now that you're here live...
Wait, first of all, is that official? Do you guys have to vote for it?
Hold on a second.
Yeah. Let's vote. Hold on. We're going to keep the tally here.
Teddy, who do you think? Well, Will? Okay.
This one was close.
Okay, I have the envelope.
Okay.
All right. So this week, Teddy nominated Benji for Douche of the Week. Will nominated Benji for Douche of the Week. Jason nominated Benji for Douche of the Week.
The winner is...
Benji, you are...
Douche of the Week.
Thank you for calling in to collect it yourself.
I'm very excited and a little bit overwhelmed. It's just very exciting. It's a douche is something that cleans things and cleans it out, and it's exciting to be a douche. And I would nominate myself for Douche of the Week too. So thank you very much.
All right, Benjo, is that it?
Wow.
No, Elisa, who I'm so very proud of. I didn't get to say it on the show.
Yeah.
I love so. What's that mean?
What?
No, nothing.
You're breaking up, Benj. Hurry, quick. The show's ending.
We're gonna be at the cutting room.
Quickly. What?
You're cutting who?
Stop cutting yourself.
We're
Just
gonna
wants
be
to
at
feel,
the cutting
man.
room.
Oh.
Jason, I sent you a link to put on the website. I sent you a link to put on the website.
Yes, howardstern.com for pictures of our steak dinner, for the block party pictures. I got all the clips of the website. Go ahead, Benji, plug it. Let's just get
Let him plug.
Let him plug.
We're going to be at the Cutting Room NYC. You can go to that web. And I sent some pictures of Elisa in bikini to Jason.
Yes, you did. I will put them up because she is gorgeous.
What about me? I want to see those.
I will put pictures of you in a bikini
I
as
would
well.
like to see pictures of Will in a bikini. Yeah.
Beat it to it, Benji. Hey, thanks, Benji, for calling in. Whatever. I don't know what that's about.
I guess that was good.
I guess that was good. I will get the links up and of Elisa, of course, because she's gorgeous. Our show is replaying 8 p.m. Saturday night. That's 8 p.m. Eastern Saturday night. And for you early birds, 6 a.m. on Sunday morning.
Or cokeheads.
If you want to get an early start on your Super Bowl day, 6 a.m. Eastern on Sunday morning, we're replaying 8 p.m. Saturday night. What a show. Thank you all for participating. Al Ragone, as always.
I'm so pissed off we didn't get to talk about Janice wanting to have sex with me, your wife.
How do we miss that?
Yeah, I'm
Don't
sure.
worry,
I'm sure it was an accident, Jason.
I'm sure she's thought that way a long time.
Thank you
about it
to
next week.
Lindsay, the intern on the phone, Steve Pick. Oh, fuck, I forgot his name. Oh, it's so embarrassing. Danny? Bobby. All right, I got it.
No,
I got it.
Bobby.
Oh, Bobby.
I knew it was an E.
Well, both of
Asshole.
us. Thank you. Al Ragone, of course, Teddy Knitter, Will Murray.
Thank you. When do I get to fuck your wife?
Right now. Whenever you want.
Yeah,
Like,
come over.
Are you serious?
I said I would be very happy if you were the one that did it.
I just have to get permission
If
from the
anyone
wife.
has
I
to
love
do
you
it.
guys.
Thank you for listening to Back Office Radio. You are the greatest fans in the world, and you are listening to us only on Howard 101. Peace.